My wife said, "It's not about love anymore." That's when I stopped caring. We were sitting at the kitchen table, same spot where we used to laugh over late-night snacks and argue about who forgot to buy milk. The morning light hit her face just right, and for a second she looked like the woman I fell in love with 10 years ago. But her eyes were different, cold, tired, almost relieved. I asked her what she meant, even though deep down I already knew. She sighed, folded her hands, and said, "We've just grown apart. It's not love that keeps us together anymore. It's habit." I wanted to yell, to beg, to remind her of everything we built, but instead, I just stared at my coffee until it went cold. The next few days were quiet. No more good morning. No more random hugs in the hallway. I started noticing the small things she stopped doing. No packed lunches. No little notes in my jacket pocket. No asking if I got home safe. She used to call me every afternoon just to ask if I'd eaten. Now I'd watch the clock hit 5, then 6, then midnight, and still nothing. I guess that's how love fades, not with a fight, but with silence. One night, I came home late from work, and she was on the couch scrolling through her phone, smiling. When she noticed me, the smile disappeared faster than a spark in the rain. I asked her, half joking, "Who's making you smile like that?" She said, "No one." But the way she clutched her phone said otherwise. I didn't ask again. The truth didn't matter anymore. She had already checked out. I started spending more time at the gym, working late, sitting in my car in parking lots just to avoid going home. One evening, I came home and found her suitcase near the door. She didn't look guilty, just done. "I'm moving in with my sister for a while," she said. "We both need space." She didn't say "I love you." She didn't even say goodbye. Just grabbed her bag and left. The sound of that door closing was louder than any argument we ever had. Weeks passed. Friends asked what happened, and I shrugged. "It's not about love anymore," I'd say, mocking her words. But every time I said it, it hurt less. I started to accept that sometimes people change. Sometimes you pour everything into someone until there's nothing left to give, and they still walk away. Months later, she texted me out of nowhere. I think I made a mistake. I stared at the screen, felt my heart twitch, but I didn't reply, because by then I realized something. She was right. It wasn't about love anymore. It was about peace, and for the first time in years, I finally had some. Then came the day I saw her again. It was at a grocery store, of all places. She was holding a toddler, her sister's kid, I assumed, and when our eyes met, she smiled nervously, like she wasn't sure if she should say hi. I nodded politely. She asked how I was. I told her, "Better." She looked down, smiled faintly, and said, "You look at it." There was a moment where it felt like the world slowed down, and all those years we shared flashed between us. The laughter, the tears, the dreams we never chased. But it was gone just as fast. We were two strangers with shared memories. That night I went home and deleted our last text thread. Not out of anger, but closure. I realized love isn't something you lose in one day. It dies slowly, in the moments you stop trying, in the things you stop saying, in the silence you get used to. She taught me that. And maybe that's what love was all along. A lesson that sometimes ends quietly, without anyone being the villain. I poured myself a drink, looked out the window at the empty street, and whispered to no one, "Thank you for teaching me how to let go." It didn't hurt this time. It just ended.